everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Kimberley and I channel the beings of the light. And welcome to today's Patreon channeling. And today it'll be the esoteric teachings of love and compassion with Ascendant Master Yeshua. And today we have Isabel. Hi, Isabel.
Hello.
And she'll be also reading out questions from other Patreon members. So I'm going to go into trance now. So I invite Yeshua to come through and speak out of my body. And then after the session, we'll also have a little debrief as well. So we'll see you on the other side. Hello, my dear one. It is
Hello, Yeshua.
And hello to all of my children that are watching. It is with love that I come through to you. You are all expanding greatly. You are all transcending fear into love. And this is the way for the new earth. This is the way for the evolution of human consciousness. Separation will be no more. Duality will be no more. Fear will be no more. And you have entered this paradigm. You have chosen to enter into this shift as the light bringers, as the healers. You are here to assist in this transition, holding the torch for others. What can be more grand than that? And what a world you are living in, when the recognition and your conscious awareness of who you truly are is being realized. that you are love. And that you are your brothers and sisters. You are already feeling this connection. In part, although there's been much conditioning, it is though you have one foot in the new world and one foot in the old world. But you are advanced masters and you knew you could transition this. For only the most powerful beings were able to come here in this time continuum to be in this transition. For if you're fully unawake, then life is easy, blissfully easy in the knowing. In the unknowing, living your life in the illusion. But in the illusion, there is much sadness, pain, fear, blissfully unaware, in part. Sometimes agonizing in pain, because that is the illusion. And those of you who have gone through the remembering journey and are aware of who they truly are beyond the veil, it can be challenging because you know of this other side, you know who you truly are. Yet at times you fall back into this amnesia and you experience this pain. You experience this separation. But you have the strength to transcend this. You wouldn't be here otherwise. And we all love you dearly and we are all assisting you on this transition. And I know you, my dear, are transitioning this beautifully.
Aw, thanks, Yeshua. I have a lot of help from the other side.
And life was never meant to live alone. We are all here assisting you because you are one. But you are not only one with all of us, but you are also one with all your brothers and sisters. And they also bring forth higher information, even if they're not consciously aware of it. If you're in the present moment and you can sensitively pick up on these vibrations, you'll be able to pick up on this higher information that's coming through these people. This is why we say, do not block out your brothers and sisters. Because everyone that's here is advanced, whether they are conscious of it or not. And many times they bring forth higher information that you may not be aware of. And they're not aware of because you see them as human. And you see them as having flaws, but they are not flawed. Only in the illusion they are flawed. They are all playing roles for you. If they are not giving you higher information, they are giving you tests to allow you to assist you in the transition. If you are paying attention to all the little clues or the nuances, you'll see this. And you'll see this with everybody that you meet. Once you consciously grasp the concept of oneness, you'll see how everyone is connected and everyone that comes into your life is playing their role. And this is when you can let go more of control and just see it for what it is. You came here to explore this challenging game. If you see it as a game, you are able to let go more of control and more have fun with it. Life does not have to be so serious. seriousness can occur when you experience fear and when you judge things as more important than another. But this is based in duality. Nothing is more important than the other. It's all about just following what resonates with you. Following your calling, such as you being here today. And everything in life that draws you in. Anything that you have a calling for is there to teach you, to evolve you in certain ways, in certain aspects. You came here because you are advanced and you needed this challenge. You wanted this challenge. There are lines to come here. Only the lucky few were able to come here on the earth plane this time continuum. And that shows a lot to you, to those around you, especially those that you may see as flawed, that are based in lots of fear. Maybe those people that you see and you deem them as not advanced, but in fact, they are highly advanced. They are just playing specific roles to assist in your evolution if they come into your life, or they are to affect the greater consciousness in the evolution. Every person living is advanced. No one can be more spiritually advanced in your terminology than another. Everyone is just as spiritually advanced as everyone else. It's just your perceptions. And it's just about the roles they are playing. Some of them are not meant to be conscious of their roles. Does not mean they're advanced. To play the role effectively, sometimes they need to be unconscious to affect the certain, we would say, a trigger process in another person. Just because they're not conscious aware of who they are truly does not mean they are not advanced. Everyone is on their own journey, playing different roles, different missions here. It is then when you can truly see everyone as one and everyone is perfect. What would you like to discuss today, my dear one?
Well, we have some questions from some members. And someone would like to know if you can speak about your inward soul journey during your 40 days in the desert. And can you also ask about the significance about the number 40?
In my time on earth, under the name whom you may know as Jesus, I went through many enlightenment processes. Although my processes are different to you now in this time continuum, this present day, due to your vibrational consciousness as a whole being at a higher level, being that there's less duality. So my processes do not compare to the processes that occur now. One does not need to go through my processes in this current day. However, for those of who might be curious about my life here on earth, that event, the 40 days, was an important part of my enlightenment process. I was faced with different fears. The very nature of illusion of what it means to be human, I was faced with. And I had to deal with these. They were challenging, But I was able to transcend these. I was faced deep within the illusion. And the fears were right in my face. Fear of death. Fears about who I was. Fears, limiting beliefs that occurred in the ego mind were playing tricks from the illusion. All the aspects of fear that a human can experience in the illusion, I experienced. And many of you experience these throughout your life. And you have a choice. You can succumb to the fear, or you can choose a higher perspective. It might be challenging in the moment, but you can do it. I was faced with the ultimate darkness, where I had to reach more within than I ever needed to do before, to overcome, to ask for assistance, to connect me with my light, to remember that I am light, and that I was divine like all of you are. And in that knowing that I was divine, that I was love, no fear could touch me. Once I could transcend these fears and limiting beliefs I had, my confidence grew, my belief system strengthened, and I knew I was completely safe. I knew no matter what I faced, I would be able to overcome, like all of you can, in the recognition that you are divine and you are love. And that when you're in the vibration of love, no vibration of fear can affect you. This was my journey. But to go on my journey, I was able to then assist others, transcending their fears, assisting them in overcoming their belief systems. Of course, mine was, you can say, quite extreme, but my time on earth was very different to your time now. And I had to go through those extremes, those contrasts, to allow me to be at the vibrational level where I can assist others the way I did. Truly assist them in remembering their light and to unlearn all the conditioning that was very dense in my time. Those days, I was alone, but I also met up with other enlightened beings, physical form. I spent time there, whom you might know as the Essenes. Spent some time with them, did some teachings, and I completed that stage of my enlightenment process. The number of 40 was more of a personal number to me in my evolutionary journey. It was a completion of a cycle. But what I went through is something you all face in different ways, different circumstances. You always have a choice. When fear looks at you right in the eyes, anger, fear, hate, pain, any vibration of fear, you have a choice and you can overcome. It is your belief systems, it is your perspectives, Go back to love, because that is who you are. Remember the vibration of love. That's who you are. When times are tough and experience these challenges, connect with your heart. Know that you are love. And in the vibration of love, no fear can affect you. You may notice it as a slight rubble in your vibration. For those of you practicing this, the moment will be fleeting. Your pain that you experience will be very fleeting, and you'll be able to raise your vibration momentarily with practice. With practice, you won't even have that moment. Once the realization in your conscious awareness of oneness, of love, that all is love, it is possible to experience no pain, no anger, no fear. This is when oneness occurs. And as a collective, you are on your way there now. You've entered into this shift. With any situation, any person that triggers this fear response in you, remember, it is the fear within you that needs to be transcended, because you are one. If you feel that negative emotion, know that it's within you, and they are playing that role for you to assist you. Remember who you are, that you are love. Remember who they are, that they are love and they are also perfect, and that you are one. And then you will notice the fear melt away as it's transcended into love. This is the process to consciously remember and practice love and oneness. In this world, it's hard not to judge. We understand this. There is much conditioning that tells you to judge things that's wrong or right. But in high truth, everything is but neutral. Everything is just love. Everyone is playing roles for your expansion or for the expansion of the consciousness in its collective form. If you cannot be of love, be of compassion, as compassion is a vibration of love. If you cannot love the other, show it compassion, for it is teaching you something, even if you may not be aware of it in the moment.
Thank you, Yeshua. Hey, Yeshua, talking about your trials and tribulations. Were you aware that you had an ego of that time? Were you like conscious that you knew there was part of you that was the ego?
And this is why I was faced with those trials to show me, as I was, of course, human. And as such, the aspects to be human, to be in the illusion, to have the ego, to have the collective conditioning as part of the ego, this infiltrated my life. I was not born enlightened. Of course, my vibration was at a higher vibrational level than most of my time, yes. But there were still lessons for me to transcend. Well, I needed to experience being the human. And that was part of my journey. I was being tested. Tested in every single form. Questioning my divinity. Questioning my power.
Mm.
just like you do, all of you,
Yes.
in different forms. This is the human way.
Yeah. That's so neat that we're going through the same thing.
As a human, no matter what your background is, no matter what area, place, dimension, planet you reincarnated from, no matter
Yeah.
how advanced you are coming here, you chose to come to be reincarnated as a human, which is a package deal. As a human, you come with knowing you'll be thrust in the illusion. You'll be thrust with the ego, the fear. This is part of being human. No matter how advanced you are, you will still have parts of these aspects to transcend if you want to be more of oneness and remember more of who you truly are.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them find it more easier than others due to their vibration, yes. But everyone must go through these tests, these challenges, even myself. And all ascended masters who walked on the earth. As all ascended masters came in human form on this earth. We are truly one.
Okay, are you ready for your next question?
I am, my dear one.
Okay. Can you elaborate on how to sustain unconditional compassion at the same time as enlightened detachment and neutrality?
Detachment and attachment is all part of the human package deal. When you are born into a family, you are attached to that family. Since you were born, you've developed attachment patterns in your life. That is the way of the human. You chose your family knowing that you'll be attached to your family and be set on a certain trajectory. And of course, these patterns developed when you were a child throughout your early life and form habits in your conditioning, and as such form patterns in your adult lives of attachments also. Some attachments you may perceive as healthy, some attachments you may see as unhealthy. What's behind attachments is a sense of security. Do you truly feel secure or unsecure? To feel unsecure is to not know who you truly are. If you feel insecure, you do not feel safe enough. You do not feel the love, just being who you truly are, and that you need another to feel that love, to feel whole. The process of detachment, whether it's from a person or from a situation, is to allow yourself to be at peace, knowing if that situation or that person will be in your life or not. If they are not in your life, will you still feel love for yourself? Will you still feel whole and complete if they are not in your life? The people in your life are there for a reason. If they exit your life, it is also for a reason. They are all playing roles for you. Some of them chose to stay with you for longer periods at a time or shorter periods of time. Just know if they are not in your life, it's for a higher reason. Situations that you have attachments to can be challenging. We understand this. Much conditioning has occurred where you're attached to certain events in your life and situations. for what is behind the attachment. Analyze what is behind that. Is it a fear of loss of identity? Fear of what people may think if a situation does not go the way that it was planned? Detaching is detached from an outcome. And this can be challenging because even in your conditioning is to make goals, to make plans. And if something doesn't go right, you feel discouraged. You feel like a failure. But maybe even though it was a passion, your true desire was something else. It was only on a path to get you to a certain point where then it can get you to a vibrational level where you then choose a different route if you just let go. It's about letting go of control. Going with the flow of life. Just following your inspiration and the guidance. For people, we know attachment can be harder, for strong emotions can be involved. People have hurt you and they've exited your life. And you feel pain from this. And you cannot love them, show them compassion. Recognize that they playing an important role for you in your evolution, even if you do not see it. Shine love and compassion on yourself, for you are perfect and whole as you are. And shine that love and compassion on the other. And thank them for showing you the lessons in advance. Thank the situation for teaching you what you needed to know, either consciously or vibrationally, to allow you to get to the next stage of your evolutionary journey. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a vibration of love. Appreciate all that comes into your life, for it's all there to assist you. Sometimes you have strong desires and passions and callings, and we understand this. You follow that every step of the way, but you might find at points that it is time to go another direction because you are vibrationally ready for it. And that can be challenging, especially if you've built your life in a certain direction and this has been tied into your identity of who you are as a person. It's about letting go ultimately of your identity. To ultimately let go and detach is to let go of your sense of identity. The identity is tied into the ego that is conditioned to control. Who do you think you are as a person? This is tied much into your conditioning and your belief systems. Know that you are much more than your identity. Identity is just a role you're playing in the illusion. It's not who you are. And because it's not who you really are, it may not be necessary to hold this identity any longer. And as such, change direction. And you must need to be able to let go with that new direction and push through the fear. Of course, you have a choice not to. But to really uncover why you came here. Your true passions is to let go and let the universe, let all the vast guide you every step of the way.
Thank you, Yeshua.
And we know it's
What, Yeshua?
we know it sounds simple enough, but we also know how challenging it is. To know the concepts is one thing, and to practice that in loving compassion and gratitude is another. It is just one step. You are in the transitional process. It is okay to fall back into the illusion as you are transitioning.
Which the next question is perfect. How can we best practice discernment without judgment?
So all judgment is based on duality. Discernment is depending on your belief systems of what discernment really truly is. Is discernment just a lighter version of judgment, or is discernment following your guidance, your intuition? If you have a sense, just follow your guidance. Everything is happening for you. There can be no wrong. If you have fear that something bad will happen, that's just a fear based in illusion. You can play along with that game if you like, and take yourself out of that situation. However, on a higher perspective, that is just an illusion. Truly is. I go with the flow of life, trusting the guidance. You'll be guided every step of the way. It's about following your life from here instead of here, where all the conditioning lies, or the fears, belief systems, cloud your guidance. For that is not true guidance. That is guidance coming from the human perspective, from the ego, from the conditioning. True guidance comes from the heart, comes from the knowing. Practice the knowing. No harm can come to you. Only harm comes to you in the illusion. It is all perspective. If you're in a high vibrational state, no pain can come to you. Like attracts like. Fear attracts fear. Love attracts love. It is all vibration. Whatever occurs, if you're in a high state of vibration, was meant for your highest good. That's how to live life. If you want to live life in the higher perspective, in the perspective of oneness, trust the knowing, the guidance from the source part of you, not from the ego, not from the conditioning, which is hard because you've been conditioned all your life to fear certain things, to act certain ways, to live your life according to certain rules. It's time to break free of all that and live life in the flow of life, the flow of love of who you truly are.
I think you just answered the next question, was how to tap into infinite source at all times while navigating the 3D world and being in the flow and in love and heart center. That's how you navigate it.
We know it's hard because the world is transcending into higher dimensions where there is less duality and more oneness. So when you experience the illusion, it may be hard to navigate, because then you go through stages of amnesia when you forget who you truly are, that you forget everything is illusion, that you forget everything is working out for your highest good. When this is when the fear creeps in, the conditioning creeps in. It is truly about following guidance, from living your life from the heart. The heart sends off the most powerful frequency. The heart is your guiding light to oneness. It is the portal to your multidimensional self. It is the portal to the whole universe. It is the portal to all of who you truly are. Once you live from the heart, with time, you'll be able to live your life in the knowing, and you will not have to question it. You can call this your intuition, call it your inner self, your higher self, however you like to name it. The knowing is from higher perspectives. You do not have to analyze it and validate it, which is common. Sometimes you receive information and you have to verify, and just to make sure that this is correct, the correct way, you judge it, because there is no proof this is the way. With time, those of you who are sensitive enough, you'll be able to trust the knowing and know that it is knowing, because you'll know it resonates with you. You'll know it due to its vibrational signature, and you'll be able to trust it. And the evidence will be laid forth in front of you to validate the knowing was real. If you need that validation for your belief systems. This is the way of the new earth. More of the divine feminine, less analyzing, judging. Be more from the knowing, from the love, from being in the present. And this is why being in the present is so important, because you will not receive that knowing unless you are in the present moment. If you are living in the past and the future, you'll be drawing on conditioning from past experiences of fears, about fears of the unknown. To truly live your life of who you truly are is to be in the present moment. And that taps into the true power of your heart, true power of oneness. There'll be a time in the human evolution where even communication will be transcended. When everyone will just have the knowing, and they'll be able to communicate this knowing to each other. And it's already being activated within you. As part of the evolutionary journey, parts of your human DNA, parts of the human brain that lay dormant is now being activated within you, as you are vibrationally ready to receive this activation. And how exciting is that? You are here during this most important stage of transitioning into the new earth, to new higher paradigms of conscious knowing, conscious living, being one with who you truly are.
Very exciting.
And how freeing is it to know that you are being taken care of, that all is perfect and all is love. It is then when you can really live life in the flow of life, of love.
Mm. Okay, the last question is, beloved Yeshua, the main thrust of your mission seems to have been, or to be, to get persons to accept loving themselves and all others. Please give your definition of love. And thank you for coming through, Kimberley. Love and light.
Definition of love is to be aligned to who you truly are. It is not about attaining something, attaining an ideal. Love is your natural state. It is about transcending the human conditioning that contains fear, transcending what contains in the human ego of fear, conditioning, belief systems that keeps you in illusion, to transcend this, to align you more with your source self, your inner self, your higher self, to who you truly are.
Mm.
God. It's the recognition that you are God. You are source. Some people you deem as more enlightened, such as how many of you deem my presence on earth as highly enlightened, was only because I recognized I was God. And as such, I was able to align myself more to who I truly am. So I was able to embody more of my God self. Anyone can do this process, but it's about doing the work. Anyone can journey through the stages of enlightenment to become one with their source self, depending on your journeys and missions here, depending on your vibration. Everyone's journey is different, and it's an ongoing journey that never ceases. Definitions of love is simple. It's to recognize who you are and who your brothers and sisters are. Love is a frequency. Love is non-judgment. Love is the opposite of fear. Love sees everything as perfection. This is who you are. And it's about peeling back the layers of this conditioning, of this illusion that has infiltrated your conditioning, and to release and to embrace and fully conscious awareness of your natural state of love. Once you recognize this love, you will then see it in others, as others will be reflecting back to you the love that you see yourself as. You'll see it in your surrounds. Your world will begin to open, and all you see around you is love, because you are tearing down those illusions, tearing down the fears. It's about returning to your natural state. As you raise your vibration by transcending your fears and belief systems that limit you, you'll become more and more aligned with your source, God self. And this is when more love will be experienced, More compassion will be experienced. More oneness will be experienced. Not just for yourself, for others, for all others are a reflection of you. For in the knowing of oneness, due to you raising your vibration, you will realize that they are all you. And they are all floating back to you what is going on within you. Whether that is love or fear, they are just mirrors. Everyone in your life are mirrors. They are all playing that role. We know it sounds simple enough. We know this. But it is you who must do the work. To see yourself out of alignment. Be in the present moment. Are you judging something? Are you perceive something as wrong or lesser than? Be present and aware if your perceptions are in concepts of duality. Are they in the vibration of fear or they are in the vibration of love? Lifetime of habits and conditioning. That can take time, but it's just one step at a time. That's how it all works. One step. One fear at a time. One limiting belief at a time. The more sensitive you come as you raise your vibration, you'll be able to pinpoint more and more of your limiting beliefs because you'll be more sensitive to the vibrations of those belief systems. But you'll also feel contrasts more as well, which is a good thing because you'll be able to know when you're not in alignment. So life is just one practice of raising your vibration, being aligned to who you are, to recognize you are God, and that you are all powerful, that you are limitless, that you are all multidimensional, that you are perfect. Even the person that you see is doing wrong is also perfect. Remember that these people in these situations are just playing roles. They agreed to play those roles for coming here to assist in the evolutionary process. We might not need to understand it, but just trust everything is working out the way it's supposed to. If you believe things are not working out the way it's supposed to, your situation will reflect that back to you. You are a co-creator. If you live in fear and you judge the world in fear, situations and people in that same vibration will be shown to you in your life. It'll be reflected back to you. Your aspect of the illusion of reality will reflect that fear. It's all vibration and it's all reflections of what is going on within you, in your belief systems. You have a choice to live one of fear or one of love. I'm here to assist you to bring back the resonance of love of who you are. And this is the basis of all ascension teachings. Oneness and love. Aligning to who you truly are. Empowerment occurs when you can realize in your conscious awareness that you are God. This is the enlightenment process. To know that you are God is not from the ego. It is not about comparing. It is about just knowing that you are Source. Source projected itself into many beings, such as the human race. You are aspects of Source. You are projections of Source, living life as a human, experiencing life in this unique way. In the non-physical, you do not get to experience these fears, these contrasts, these challenges. How wonderful it is that you get to experience these. You are Source. Just living a life in a human body. It is this knowing that will truly transform all of who you are. You are all powerful, limitless, multidimensional beings of love. My child, is there anything else you'd like to discuss today before we finish here?
No, that's it.
Thank you for being here, my dear one.
You're so welcome. Love seeing you.
And I'm always with you and with everyone. Connect with your heart, and I'm there. Love you dearly, my beloved ones. Farewell. Hello, I'm back. How did you find that?
I thought it was great.
Was there anything that stood out to you particularly in the session?
I thought it was interesting how no matter where we came from, that we're living the human condition and the ego and the separate, like we all have to go through it. He had to go through it. Doesn't matter how advanced you are, whatever. We all have to go through the same lessons, of course, designed personally for us. But yeah, I thought that was cool. And then I'm like, hey, you knew about ego back then? And he did. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. You'll have to watch this back.
I
mean, I know you were there, but
Yeah. Yes, and his energy is just so much love. It's when I channel him, it's like I can feel who we are, the love of who we are. Just
wow, that's
so
cool.
This blissful
like you were at the spa.
energy. It's just it's unconditional, pure love, which we all are.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, because you channel other beings, like Isis and Lakishma. So everyone has their own vibration, huh?
Yeah, they are felt differently. Yeshua is one that has them, I guess for me, I feel it as the most vibrational love. Maybe it's because that's he wants to teach us this and
Yeah.
that. So I guess when I trans channel him, he allows me to feel who we are, which is love. Whereas,
that's so cool.
For instance,
what about Michael?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they all have, of course, they all have high vibrations, all for love. But when I change on Michael, I guess because he represents like the courage and that fire. So when I haven't actually trans channeled him in a while, but when I trans channel him, I feel like so strong and so like powerful
like
and so direct. And I feel like very masculine, and I don't know.
Yes.
Channel like for instance, just recently we channeled the Blue Avians, and it was very interesting because I just sensed there was no separation. I just felt oneness with them, with everyone. It was like there was no difference. It was very unique. And other beings have some different energy signatures, I guess, and sometimes some are more subtle than others, I guess. So it's all very cool. But you know, you all feel it differently according to your vibe. You know, the more sensitive you are vibrationally, you get to pick up on these sensations, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening, and thank you for joining, Isabel. And for those of you watching, if you would like to join and participate on these channelings, then just jump over to our Patreon channel at www.patreon.com/Beings of the Light with Kimberley, and there you will find different tiers of membership. And of course, in case you don't want to miss out on our sessions, just go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. If you feel inspired, also join our Facebook community, and we have a Facebook page there also. All right, well, until next time, love you all, love and light, and from Australia, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.